The road to Brexit. Remainers want to slam the brakes on. But for the government, the biggest challenge, deal or no deal. Either way, according to a new report, time is running short to implement a successful Brexit. When it comes to no-deal plans, ministers say they're far advanced. But the Institute for Government, an independent think tank, says the government has left its no-deal preparations too late to help many businesses. They've used a traffic light system to assess progress. Only one policy area, EU programmes and funds, is green. 9 others are given a red light, suggesting the government won't be able to avoid major negative impacts of no deal next year. Even if a deal is reached, which is what the government wants, implementing Brexit in the 21-month transition period, which would among other things mean agreeing and ratifying a future trade deal, looks completely unfeasible. For example, the IFG says more than 140,000 businesses will need to be ready for changes at UK borders, and new customs systems won't be ready, despite the government hiring 9,000 extra staff and spending £2 billion on Brexit preparations by March 2019. The IFG compared the Brexit transition with other major UK government projects. The automatic pension enrolment programme and preparations for the London Olympics both took more than a decade. Digitising tax took 5 years. Implementing Brexit will be very, very tight, especially when you consider that negotiating and fully implementing the EU-Canada trade deal that we hear so much about took more than 7 years. The clock is ticking in Parliament too. If a deal on a withdrawal agreement is reached this autumn, possibly in November, there would only be about 70 sitting days in Parliament before Brexit is due to happen. Some of that time will have to be devoted to other issues, such as the budget. The government will also need to win a meaningful vote on its deal with the EU in the House of Commons, and then pass legislation giving the withdrawal agreement effect in UK law. The number of votes will be tight, but so will the number of days. In the past, says the IFG, significant treaty change has taken about 40 days to get through Parliament, which would take Brexit right down to the wire. In the event of no deal, of course, Parliament will have to scramble to pass all sorts of legislation for sudden change in a whole host of policy areas. A huge technical and political challenge, according to the IFG. As for those traffic lights, if there's a deal, they're green for legislation, except for the withdrawal agreement bill, which needs to be passed flashing amber. With no deal, again, some green, but plenty of uncertain amber and red on citizens' rights. So an awful lot depends on the next few weeks as negotiations with the EU on a withdrawal agreement, the terms on which the UK will leave, reach their final phase. They also need to agree a political declaration on the future relationship and persuade the UK and European parliaments to accept it all. The IFG's negotiation traffic lights have a lot in green. Officials say the deal is 80% done. But there are amber issues. And the toughest part of all, avoiding a hard border in Ireland. That's still flashing red. Optimism that a withdrawal agreement can be reached may be rising. But as everyone says, nothing is agreed until everything is agreed. And getting any deal approved by MPs in Westminster is still a high-risk red light. Brexit, the IFG concludes, is likely to lead to unprecedented levels of change across huge swathes of policy simultaneously. But with 6 months to go, the whole process remains highly uncertain.